Breaking news. The cameras were rolling when Prince William unexpectedly locked eyes with the Prime Minister and, to the shock of everyone, walked out in the middle of a speech, broadcast live in front of the entire nation. What followed set off a dramatic chain of events, leading to a 4-hour countdown that would bring Britain's government to its knees. In a stunning turn, King Charles broke a 300-year-old tradition, while the cabinet went into emergency lockdown. Leaked documents have since revealed that just weeks before this incident, the Prime Minister had tried to silence the future king. This isn't just a royal soap opera. It's a full-blown constitutional crisis with potential to reshape British power forever. If you want to understand where all of this is headed, hit subscribe now, because what I'm about to reveal will show you why the next 48 hours could change Britain's future. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming up. Now, let's rewind and take you back to where it all began. 3 days ago, Keir Starmer made a bombshell announcement that sent shockwaves through Westminster. He revealed that he would deliver his Labour Party conference speech not in the usual safe Labour stronghold, but at the Queen Elizabeth II Conference Centre, located just 400 yards from Parliament, right in the heart of British power. This wasn't a random location. It was a calculated message. Hours before the speech, Starmer's team leaked key talking points to the press, including phrases like democratic reform and modernizing outdated institutions. Political insiders immediately understood what this meant. The Labour Party was preparing to take aim at the House of Lords, the honour system, and possibly even the monarchy itself. At first, Prince William had no intention of attending. Royal protocol is crystal clear on this matter. The monarchy remains neutral in party politics. Royals don't show up at Labour conferences, they don't endorse policies, and they stay above the political fray. No exceptions. But then, at 9:47 a.m. yesterday, everything changed. According to multiple palace sources, William received a confidential briefing from his private secretary. Inside the briefing were leaked excerpts from Starmer's planned speech, and what William read deeply disturbed him. It prompted him to do something he rarely does: pick up the phone and call his father at Balmoral. The call lasted a staggering 34 minutes. If you know anything about royal communication, you'll understand that this was extremely unusual. Calls between senior royals typically last just 5 or 10 minutes. These royals usually communicate through aides, written memos, or carefully planned meetings. A call that long signals that something major is happening. One former palace staffer even revealed that calls of this duration typically only happen during family emergencies or moments of historic significance. And what was discussed during that 34-minute call? Well, that's still a mystery, as no one outside the conversation knows for sure. While no one knows exactly what was said during that 34-minute conversation, multiple sources suggest that Prince William was seeking permission from his father to take a bold step, one that would shatter 300 years of royal political neutrality. By the end of the call, Charles had given him the green light. At 11 a.m., the decision was final. Prince William would attend the Labour Party conference. He would sit in the audience, and if Starmer crossed a line that they believed he might, William had full authority to respond in whatever way he saw fit. Now, here's where things get even more intriguing. At exactly 2:15 p.m., Keir Starmer walked onto the stage at the conference center. The room erupted in applause. Labour delegates were on their feet, and cameras were rolling. It was the Prime Minister's big moment. Then, as the cameras panned across the audience, they landed on someone nobody expected to see: Prince William, dressed in a navy suit, sitting in the third row, without any royal insignia or ceremonial adornment. He looked like just another conference attendee. But if you know anything about royal protocol, you could immediately tell something was off. Prince William doesn't just show up at political events unannounced, especially not dressed like an ordinary citizen. His presence there, without any royal symbolism, was a deliberate statement. He wasn't there as the Prince of Wales. He was there as a British citizen, a witness. For the first 20 minutes of Starmer's speech, William remained completely still. His expression was calm, unreadable. He didn't clap. He didn't react. He just watched. But at minute 23, Starmer uttered words that would change everything. He said, "Britain in 2025 cannot be governed by institutions designed in 1725. We will modernize every unelected body that wields power without accountability. The House of Lords will be abolished. The honor system will be reformed. And yes, if necessary, we will re-examine the constitutional role of the monarchy. The room exploded. Half the audience cheered. The other half gasped in disbelief. Some were genuinely shocked. But all eyes were now on one person, Prince William. What happened next has been replayed across every news station in Britain for the past 24 hours. William went completely still. Witnesses sitting near him say that his face drained of color. Within 20 minutes, every major news outlet in the country was running the same headline. Prince William walks out of Labour conference after Starmer threatens monarchy. But the political firestorm had only just begun. While Westminster was caught in chaos, something else was brewing across the nation: outraged citizens. In the past 3 months, Labour's new means testing rules for winter fuel payments had left thousands of pensioners struggling. These weren't abstract political debates. These were real people facing grim choices. A 72-year-old former nurse in Manchester told the BBC she had been skipping meals just to afford heating. A 68-year-old widow in Newcastle explained that she sits in darkness after 6 p.m. because she can't afford to keep the lights on. An 81-year-old ex-miner in Wales said he would never vote Labour again after seeing them attack the Queen's grandson, while ordinary people like him were. Choosing between food and medicine, sentiment spread like wildfire. Within hours, veterans groups issued a scathing public statement. While we freeze in our homes, the Prime Minister picks a fight with the Crown. Shameful. Videos began going viral. Long-time Labour voters were filming themselves tearing up their party membership cards. Hashtags like #IStandWithWilliam and #LabourBetrayal trended across social media platforms. This wasn't just a political backlash. It was personal, emotional, and monumental. Then, at 6:32 p.m., something happened that Britain hasn't witnessed since the invention of television. King Charles III addressed the nation live, unscheduled, on every major network. No pre-written palace statement. No spokesperson reading from a press release. Just the king himself, standing in the drawing room at Balmoral, looking directly into the camera. And what he said sent shockwaves through the nation. The crown exists to serve the British people, to provide stability, continuity, and unity in times of division. My son acted today not in defiance of democratic politics, but in defense of the constitutional balance that has served this nation for centuries. When that balance is threatened, silence becomes complicity. We will not be silent. Constitutional experts immediately called it the most politically charged royal statement since the abdication crisis of 1936. One former Supreme Court justice appeared on live television and described it as politically nuclear. But behind the scenes, things were getting even more intense. Palace insiders revealed that King Charles had rewritten that statement 7 times. Each version became shorter. Each became blunter. Senior advisors reportedly begged him to soften the tone, to add some diplomatic cushioning, to avoid a direct confrontation with the government. Charles refused. According to one source, he told his advisors, "I'm not choosing sides. I'm choosing Britain." And that's when everything spiraled out of control. Within minutes of the king's address, the cabinet went into emergency session. Ministers scrambled, calling palace aides for explanations, desperately trying to contain the damage. Some were reportedly furious, accusing the monarchy of overstepping its bounds. Others were panicking, warning that this could ignite the biggest constitutional showdown in modern British history. But the palace wasn't backing down. At 3:21 p.m. today, Kensington Palace released a statement, and it didn't go through Downing Street first. That alone was extraordinary. Typically, royal statements are carefully coordinated with the government to prevent this kind of crisis, but not this time. The statement was short and direct. The Prince of Wales will continue all scheduled public duties as planned. No political request would alter his commitments. That word, political, was a direct shot at the Prime Minister's office. Government officials immediately accused the palace of undermining national security. Royal insiders fired back, claiming the government was using security concerns as a cover for something far more significant. And then came the leak that changed everything. A senior royal source, speaking on the condition of anonymity, revealed that the Prime Minister had personally requested that William suspend his public duties for several months. The official reason was security concerns. But according to the source, the real reason was political pressure. No heir to the throne had ever been asked to suspend public duties due to government pressure. Ever. That information dropped like a bombshell. Within the hour, opposition MPs were demanding answers. Political commentators were outraged, calling it a clear abuse of power. Social media exploded with debate. By evening, the situation had escalated to an unprecedented level. Buckingham Palace and Downing Street were no longer in communication. Senior aides from both sides were warning of an impending constitutional crisis. Officials close to Prime Minister reportedly fear that he has now crossed a line he cannot undo, because at this point, the entire nation is asking one simple question. Why? Why did Keir Starmer threaten the monarchy? Why did Prince William walk out? Why did King Charles speak out so forcefully? Why is the government trying to silence the future king? And according to multiple sources from both Westminster and the palace, the real answer to these questions is far more explosive than anything that has been reported so far. This story is still unfolding. Make sure you're subscribed because what happens next could change Britain forever. Drop a comment below and tell me, do you think William was right to walk out? Was this a defense of the Constitution or a dangerous break from tradition? I want to know what you think.